Welcome to Daily Plunge. We're in the book of Esther, chapter 7, verses 1 through 10. At the end of chapter 6, servants go to collect Haman. He's late for the party. They bring him to the queen's residence. This is a 2-day party, right? They're drinking and eating, drinking, little hors d'oeuvres, more drinking and more drinking and more drinking. And on the second day, the king asks, "What is your request? I'll give you even up to my half of my kingdom," he says to the queen. And the queen says, if she's ready, she's got her argument. If I have found favor and if it would please you, I ask that you would not have me killed. Spare my life and spare the life of my people. Because we've been sold. Remember that 10,000 talent gift of silver, $16 million? To be destroyed, to be killed, and to be annihilated. This was the order that was signed and sent out. If we had been sold merely as slaves, I wouldn't have bothered you because we'd still be alive. But this we can't abide by. And the king, is like, who would dare do such a thing to my queen? Who would do this? And she is quick to point the finger. It is that my adversary, my enemy, right? The words we would use for Satan, this vile Haman. And the king is filled with rage. And Haman knows this is all over. He's immediately terrified. Now the king goes out into the garden. And you have to imagine that it has dawned on him that the order that Haman had him sign, but didn't tell him exactly who it was about, right? It wasn't clear that but the king signed it. And that Haman had a signet ring of the king, so he's very high up. But the king realizes he's been duped. So not only is his queen in danger, but he has been undermined. And Haman realizes how bad this situation is, and he pleads for his life, which is never anything that the Jews were offered. And he falls onto the queen, pleading for his life. And the king, he sees this like, what? Are you going to assault my wife, my bride right in front of me? And because this is way beyond protocol, you don't touch the queen, right? And immediately the servants cover his head. There's no court case. And what do you do with someone who's condemned to death, right? When they're up on the gallows, you put a bag over their head. This is what's happening. And then one of the servants say, hey, I just remembered Haman, right in his own backyard, built a 75-foot gallows, a pole on which to suspend Mordecai, the Jew, who saved you, king. And the servant's glad to offer that. And the king says, oh, you're right. That'll work great. And his rage subsides. I think the thing really to take away from this is that all of Haman's evil schemes, and it's not just him, there are many others who wanted to see this happen, that evil is turned back on its own schemes, as it says in Psalm 10, verse 2, and elsewhere throughout the scriptures. And God is always doing that. And ultimately, this is what happens in the cross of Jesus, where death thinks it has won, but in the death of Christ, it is defeated. Hell is waiting to claim Christ as the embodiment of sin, another sinner, and yet hell is destroyed by the work of Christ. And so God takes evil and uses evil to destroy evil. And we see that from the book of Genesis all the way to the book of Revelation. Well, a lot to cover, friends. Thanks for joining me. And again, if you like what you hear, please share it with others. Encourage them to be in the scriptures each and every day as well. Have a blessed day.